I've learned many skills to become an architect in Canada. You can learn and improve those skills today, regardless of your field of study, your education level, or your work experience. Here are the 5 most important skills that I've wished I've mastered before starting my career. I've also included a 6th bonus skill vital for every career path. So let's start with skill number 1. The learning skill is the ability to acquire, retain, and most importantly, apply new knowledge or abilities. Acquiring knowledge is at the start of every personal development, but it's also necessary in order to improve throughout your career. Therefore, it's important to keep learning, whether it comes from training, mentorship, or even acquired experiences. You can either deepen your knowledge within one specific area, which would improve your expertise on the subject matter, or you can explore a different field in order to increase your general knowledge. From personal experience, I find that both are invaluable in their own unique ways. Having depth of knowledge within my field leads me to help many clients, but it also makes me a trusted resource for coworkers and my employers. Having general knowledge, on the other hand, helps me come up with new ideas, new designs, and just inspire me. It helped me find solutions to engineer problems by collaborating with experts. It helped me interconnect different passions of mine so that sometimes passions can inspire architecture. Other times, architecture can inspire my different passions, and so on and so forth. What is crucial for you to know is to understand the best way that you can learn. Not everyone else does well in school by listening to a lecture or by reading books. I certainly don't. So here are some other ways. You can learn from other people, but make sure you don't just consume the content. Make sure that you're able to actually apply it. You can also learn from jotting down and organizing your thoughts and ideas on paper. It doesn't matter if they are words, if they are sentences, or they're even drawings. It's going through the process of putting them onto paper that will help you assimilate that information. You can also learn by researching subjects that you find interesting. Just be curious. Go down that rabbit hole. Just go to bed at a normal time. You can take class, you can take courses, or my personal favorite, you can also learn from hands-on experiences. A lot of people don't like learning new things, or they get bored because they just don't like the subject matter. My personal motivator is to find something that I'm really curious about, and to deep dive on that subject, I use my curiosity. It's like that itch that you can't scratch when the question is left unanswered. I just need to know. So what is something that you're interested in, that you're curious about, and that you would like to learn? Just take the time today and look it up. A little pro tip for you. I like to learn something new every day, regardless if it's within my field of study or if it's outside of it. It doesn't matter if it's a revolutionary idea that will improve some of my design at work, or if it helped me perfect one of my hobbies. You would be surprised how different fields have similar ideas and practices. Some of them might be able to cross-pollinate together. Skill number 2 is the communication skill. The communication skill is the ability to convey ideas clearly and to be able to listen carefully, whether it's through speaking, writing, visuals, or even body language. It's not just about sending the message. It's also making sure that the message is received and well understood. Just remember that kid telephone game that we used to play. Remember how the message kept changing? Well, that's not what we want. For this skill, your work or study doesn't really matter. Everyone needs communication skills, which is why everyone needs to improve them. Being able to communicate your thoughts is important for any personal and professional relationship. It's important to know that in architecture, we're not personally building anything. We're just trying to convey ideas so that other people are able to build these things, which is why we need to understand which communication method to use at what time in order to make sure that the message is clearly understood. For example, if somebody on site is asking you questions, sometimes writing them down in an email will clear things up. Another example is if your client is asking you for ideas, maybe an in-person presentation with visual support will help you. If at the job site they don't know how to make a certain assembly, then maybe a 2D sketch will do the trick. If you're trying to explain the lighting qualities of a room or a space, then maybe building a physical model will help you show those ideas. Being proficient with multiple methods of communication will only help you send the message out more clearly. And if the recipient of the message doesn't understand it properly, then you are able to easily switch to a different method of communication in order to get your point across. A pro tip from experience. In architecture, being able to read a plan and visualize it in 3D will help you a lot. Same goes for seeing a 3D shape and being able to represent it onto paper. A quick sketch can help your client understand an idea much quicker than hand gesture would. Following the same idea, a 3D model will explain spaces much better than a 2D drawing will. So here are some ways that you can improve your communication skills today. Listen to understand, and not just to prepare your response. So develop your active listening skill. Don't just jump to the next response that you have prepared. Resist the urge of interrupting. Ask clarifying questions. Paraphrase what other people say to make sure that you understood their message properly. Use visual representation. Improve your diagrams or your sketching skills. A picture can be worth 1,000 words if it's clear and intentional. Get comfortable speaking publicly. Practice your design presentation. Watch for the structure, the flow, the pacing, the tone, and watch out for filler words. A great way to also develop a skill is to ask for feedback. For example, after meetings or presentation, ask people, did the visual representation help you understand anything? Was anything left unclear? Do you have any questions? Just those small little tricks will really improve your communication skills. So skill number 3, summarizing and conciseness. You can argue that they're part of the communication skills, but I think that they deserve their own spot. Summarizing skill is the ability to refine complex or lengthy information into its most essential points. It's about identifying what truly matters. Conciseness means expressing your message clearly and efficiently, without unnecessary words or detail. It's about respecting people's time. It's about getting your point across with the fewest, most powerful words possible. Those two skills combined convey less words, more impact. Let me explain. Out of those two sentences on screen, which one is the best way to convey an idea? The simplification of the idea into its most concise form makes the intentions and actions so clear and precise that it can easily be understood and remembered. Or I should say, if it's simple and short, you'll remember. You can practice explaining complex ideas into a much more simple manner. So choose one concept per week, for example, thermal mass or passive cooling, and then try to explain it to someone who's not in architecture, like a friend or a family member. Remember that bullet points are your friends. Train yourself to think in terms of lists. Use bullet points to break things down logically. It's easier to organize this way. Cut the fluff, the meaning is important. Focus on clarity over detail. If you need to remember one thing, what should it be? You can also help by summarizing for different audiences. For example, trying to summarize a difficult topic to a peer is going to be way different than if you're trying to summarize it with somebody who has no technical skill whatsoever. So tailoring your summary will help you boil down to what is essential for people to understand. Use strong, specific words. Instead of, we're kind of trying two different options, say, we're testing two alternatives. Cut fillers and redundancies. Eliminate words like basically, actually, kind of. Avoid pleonasms and saying the same thing twice. Yes, that was intentional. Another great tip is edit ruthlessly. After writing your draft, cut words, restructure your sentences. Make sure that things get more clear and reduce your word counts. Another pro tip from experience, your presentation skill in architecture are crucial. It's better to speak slowly, calmly, with the right words, than speaking really, really fast and saying things over and over again and going into too much detail because you're stressed out. Fewer precise word means a lot more in a presentation than doing a monologue that your audience will just get lost in. Skill number 4. The creativity skill. Creativity is the ability to generate new, original, or valuable ideas. Do not confuse creativity with artistry, like playing an instrument, painting, or drawing. Creativity is not just for artists. It's possible in every field. It's what makes you solve problems differently. It makes you stand out. And most importantly, it makes you innovate. I will even risk myself saying that in non-creative fields, is where creative people shine the most because they tend to innovate more than their competitors. So here's how you can improve your creativity. Expose yourself to new inputs. For example, read, write, travel, watch movies, practice art, go take a long walk in nature. Just surround yourself with things that are new. Creativity feeds on variety. Keep a creative scrapbook or a mood board. Have sketches, materials, color palettes, anything that inspires you, and review it frequently. Collaborate with non designers. For instance, speak with engineers or with kids or people that are not in your field of study and ask them how they would use their specific space. Diverse perspective will fuel different ideas. Here's a trick I've learned in university: be playful. Gamify things. Seek challenges. If you have a task, make a game out of it. Make it playful like a child would. And most importantly, find the fun and joy within it. Use idea constraints. Constraints and limits can spark creativity. For example, it's much easier to find a solution when you clearly know what the problem is. If there are no rules, set your own and see where it leads. For example, sometimes a painting finds its own identity after a few brushstrokes. A pro tip from experience: if you have a blank page syndrome, create your own constraints, create your own limits. Skill number 5. Critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Critical thinking is the ability to objectively analyze information, question assumptions, and evaluate arguments to make well-reasoned decisions. Problem solving is the ability to identify an issue, analyze it, brainstorm solutions, and implement the best one effectively. Combine these with a learning skill, and you will grow exponentially. And the best part about this, you can also use it in your personal life as well as with work, because there's always problems everywhere. So here are ways to improve those skills. Ask better questions. Don't just ask one question. Ask why, how, what if. Then question every aspect of the answer. Practice self-reflection. After a task, homework, or project, go back on it and see what went wrong and why. Give yourself some feedback so that way you can improve next time. Research case studies. Sometimes solutions are already out there, you just need to find them. That being said, remember to think critically. It doesn't mean that there are solutions that they're necessarily for you, or that maybe they need modifications in order to be applicable to you. Collaborate. There is a reason why in architecture school, everyone is grouped up together, and same goes with the firms. Try reframing the problem. Sometimes asking the question differently makes you see the problem in a different way, and it triggers different solutions. Just remember that this list is not the end-all and be-all. Again, think critically. Before finishing with the 6th bonus skill, I wanted to do a little rapid-fire round of additional skills that you could learn, especially if you're going in architecture. Perfectionism, attention to detail, teamwork and collaboration, organizational skills, construction knowledge, and software skills. But from all the skills out there, this is the one that will save you. Time management is the ability to plan, prioritize, and control how you spend your time to work more efficiently and meet deadlines without burning out. It's not about working all the time, every minute of every hour. It's about working smarter, knowing what matters the most, knowing what the priorities are, and being able to focus your energy on the priorities. There are many ways of improving time management. Since it's such an important topic that affects so many people, maybe I should be making a standalone video on that subject. Just let me know in the comments below. One trick that I found that worked well, especially with people who have less experience, is the following. Step number 1, you need to be able to estimate accurately how long your tasks are going to be taking. If you don't know how to do that, here's how. Every time that you receive the task, estimate how long you think it will take you. When the task is done, see how far or how close you were from your initial estimation. This is not about improving your speed and cutting down your time. It's about improving the accuracy of your estimation. And when you're able to do those estimates accurately, then comes step 2. When you receive your task, plan things out and organize your time. Adjust accordingly if this new task is bigger or smaller than the previous one. Adjust if there are new steps or information that are unknown that you know you have to research. Write the deadline and then break down the task into milestones. The nice thing about this trick is that if you start today, the more experience you will gain, the more accurate your estimates will become. Another pro tip from experience, I always found it worth it to start planning a task before starting it. Whether it's written in detail inside of a spreadsheet because that task will take months, or it could also be jotted down on a piece of paper because the task is going to only take a couple of hours. But by being able to estimate that time, I can better plan my days and months ahead of time. It also helps planning deliverables and also managing resources within the firm. That way we can have conversation with employers and coworkers about how much time tasks take. Oh, and before I forget, always give yourself a little buffer. There is always something you haven't accounted for. And that was it. So to summarize, keep learning, perfect your communication, work on being more concise, foster creativity, improve your critical thinking and your problem-solving skills, but most importantly, improve your time management. So don't be afraid to share this with a friend or a colleague that might find this topic interesting. If you found this video was helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you like this type of content. Thank you for watching.